Welcome to my channel Car Auto, ladies and gentlemen. The 1970 Ford Mustang stands as one of the most iconic muscle cars ever produced, representing a blend of aggressive styling, powerful performance, and a deep connection to American car culture. As part of the first generation of Mustangs, which began in 1964 and ended in 1973, the 1970 model is widely appreciated by collectors and enthusiasts for its refined aesthetics and varied powertrain options. It arrived at a time when muscle cars were at their peak, and Ford ensured that the Mustang maintained its competitiveness both on the street and on the track. In terms of design, the 1970 Mustang featured several changes that set it apart from the 1969 model. These included a cleaner, more streamlined front end, with dual headlights placed inside the grille rather than on the outer edges of the front fascia, as seen on the previous model. This subtle revision gave the car a more focused and aggressive look. The front grille itself was reshaped slightly and emphasized the car's low, wide stance. Hood scoops, racing stripes, and other sporty details were available, depending on the trim and package selected, giving buyers the chance to personalize their Mustang's visual character. Ford offered a wide variety of body styles for the 1970 Mustang, including the hardtop coupe, fastback, known as the sports roof, and convertible. Each version had its own unique appeal. The sports roof, with its sloping rear window and aerodynamic profile, was especially popular among performance enthusiasts. It captured the spirit of speed and movement even when the car was standing still. Meanwhile, the convertible added a sense of freedom and style that appealed to a different set of drivers looking to combine muscle with open-air cruising. Under the hood, the 1970 Mustang offered a wide range of engines to suit nearly every type of driver. The base models came equipped with a 200 cubic inch inline-six engine, producing modest power for daily driving. For those seeking more excitement, Ford provided multiple V8 options. These included the 302 cubic inch V8, the 351 Windsor and Cleveland variants, and the larger 390 cubic inch V8. At the top of the performance spectrum were the legendary 428 Cobra Jet and the Boss 302 and Boss 429 engines, which transformed the Mustang into a true performance machine capable of holding its own against the fiercest competition. The Boss 302, in particular, was developed to compete in the SCCA Trans Am Racing Series, and it delivered a finely tuned balance of power and handling. The high-revving small block V8 produced around 290 horsepower, although many believed the real number was higher. The car featured upgraded suspension components, a 4-speed manual transmission, and unique styling cues like a matte black hood, front and rear spoilers, and Boss 302 decals. It was more than just a fast car. It was a street-legal race car, engineered for enthusiasts who valued performance on winding roads and race tracks as much as straight-line speed. The Boss 429 was even more extreme. Ford built it to homologate its massive 429 cubic inch semi-hemispherical V8 for NASCAR racing. Each Boss 429 Mustang was hand-assembled by CarCraft, a specialty shop contracted by Ford to modify standard Mustang sports roof bodies to accommodate the huge engine. Only 499 units were produced in 1970, making it one of the rarest and most valuable Mustangs today. The engine itself produced 375 horsepower, though, like the Boss 302, it was widely believed to be underrated. The Boss 429 was a technological marvel, with features such as a heavy-duty suspension, oversized brakes, and reinforced engine components. The Mach 1 trim, introduced in 1969, continued in 1970 and remained extremely popular. It combined aggressive looks with powerful engine options, including the 351, 390, and 428 Cobra Jet V8s. Mach 1 models came with special badging, hood scoops, chrome accents, and a performance-tuned interior that included high-back bucket seats and wood-grain trim. It offered an ideal balance of comfort and performance, making it one of the most well-rounded muscle cars of its time. In terms of handling and ride quality, the 1970 Mustang benefited from a traditional front coil spring and rear leaf spring suspension setup. While this design wasn't groundbreaking, it provided a solid and responsive driving experience, especially in the higher trim models with performance-tuned components. Power-assisted front disc brakes were optional and became increasingly common as drivers demanded better stopping power to match the high-performance engines. The 1970 Mustang was also a step forward in terms of interior features and refinement. Ford improved the dashboard layout and materials, providing a more driver-centric experience. Bucket seats came standard, and optional upgrades included air conditioning, an AM/FM stereo, center console, and rally gauges. Ford offered several interior color schemes and trim packages, allowing buyers to tailor the car's cabin to their preferences. Though the car was primarily about performance, it did not neglect comfort, especially in the more luxurious or customized configurations. By 1970, however, the muscle car era was nearing its decline. Rising insurance costs, growing environmental concerns, and increasing government regulations began to take a toll on the high-performance segment. The Mustang's design changes in 1970 can be seen as a reaction to both customer demand and federal mandates, as manufacturers sought to keep their cars appealing while preparing for an uncertain future. Despite these external pressures, the 1970 Mustang maintained a strong presence in American car culture. It was featured prominently in car magazines, advertisements, and popular media, further cementing its reputation as an aspirational vehicle for young drivers. Car clubs, drag strips, and street racers embraced the Mustang's versatility, tuning potential, and unmistakable style. The legacy of the 1970 Ford Mustang remains strong even today. Classic car collectors value it for its historical importance, aesthetic appeal, and potential for restoration. Original examples of the Boss 302, Boss 429, and Mach 1 in good condition can fetch high prices at auctions, and aftermarket support for parts and upgrades is extensive. Whether it's restored to factory specs or modified with modern performance parts, the 1970 Mustang continues to excite enthusiasts across generations. Part of the car's enduring appeal lies in its symbolism. The Mustang represents freedom, power, and individuality. It arrived at a time when American youth were seeking expression through their vehicles, and it delivered not only performance but also a sense of identity. Driving a Mustang wasn't just about getting from point A to point B, it was about making a statement. As Ford has continued to evolve the Mustang through subsequent generations, the 1970 model remains a touchstone. It's often referenced in modern Mustang design language, marketing materials, and special edition models. The car's shape, especially the fastback styling, and its performance credentials serve as a benchmark against which newer Mustangs are judged. In conclusion, the 1970 Ford Mustang holds a special place in automotive history. It represents a culmination of the raw performance and design ethos of the 1960s muscle car movement while hinting at the transitions that lay ahead. With its wide range of engine choices, memorable styling, and strong presence on the road and track, the 1970 Mustang is more than just a classic car. It's a cultural icon that continues to inspire passion and admiration over 50 years after it first hit the streets. Please subscribe to my channel Car Auto.